superb safety shot that from John Higgins. Covering the easy path back to the table down the right hand side as we look. And a little bit congested on the left hand side, so got to be careful here, Rory Mcleod, if he tries to get this cue ball back to the baulk end.
He's got a little thin safety shot he could play off that red in the circle. If he hits that on the side, he could get back down the table. A little bit risky, but that's an option for him. It doesn't look as if he wants to play that. It looks as if he's trying to leave the white just up near this left corner pocket and close to the cushion. Not many options open to him there. Tables seem to be playing fairly well, nice and quick. They will get quicker. It's the first day here at the Barbican Centre. The slates, the cloth, maybe just a little bit on the damp side, although they have heaters underneath the tables for the cloths. But once they're in the venue for a couple of days and you get the heat building up on the cloth, that's the temperature on the slate of the table there at the moment. You've got it underneath. All technology, all digital. I've told the story before, John. I remember playing Graham Miles down in Cornwall somewhere, and the fella said, "You'll really enjoy the table. I've washed it for you this afternoon." We couldn't get the ball to screw back an inch. The worst thing is a damp cloth to play on.
Well, he actually wiped it down with a damp cloth, did he?
He washed the cloth. It was soaking wet. You put your hand on the table, it was soaking wet.
Just another thing we had to put up with in our day. About the one that David Taylor used to say. The guy at the holiday camps asked him, did he want him to brush the table? He went in this morning and the fellow was stood on the table with a sweeping brush.
Yeah. That happened to me as well. Now, does he risk this long pot? He can't risk playing it and going up for the black because of the red that's to the left of the black as we look at it, but he can hold for the blue here. Wouldn't leave a great deal, only the red that he's attempting. Oh, a groan from the crowd there. I thought that was in.
You can't beat the old ooh, can you? And it was that close. It was worth an ooh. Ooh.
He tried to make that plant, but he didn't think he was going to catch the jaw of the middle pocket. And look at this for an opportunity. Okay, there's 3 or 4 reds in the open. He played this as a shot to nothing, concentrated on the plant, and forgot a little bit about the cue ball.
Yeah, catching the bump, it could be very costly. The black's available certainly into the right corner, possibly into the left corner. John Higgins could be staring at a 3-1 deficit going into that mid-session interval.
this is awkward. There's a slight angle, but to get out onto the black, he'd have to really force this.
8.
And we know with these match pockets, you've got to be absolutely spot on. In fact, you've got to be closer than that.
Yeah, I can't see the one closest to the top cushion being the right shot to play. It looks too straight. You can pot this, of course. Played it well. Now, if he can miss the green, he'll have nice position.
9.
Good shot.
To show you the white slipping past the green, but there's not a lot to play for, is there? There's just that one red that's near the right middle pocket. The bunch are all tied up. I don't know if that one at the back would pot. If it would do. Well, let's have a look. He's left himself an option here, the one to the middle, but if that one at the back of the pack goes, he might be able to just nudge, and clearly it does.
12.
He might be able to nudge a few more into play. Just got to make sure that he doesn't lose the white. He should finish on the blue, you would think here. Well, no, he's run through to, but he hasn't disturbed much.
30.
But he's got an angle again to go into them. Looked as if he was going to get down and screw that back and open them, but if this works out, he could put himself in a good position. He doesn't want to hit the red just in the middle and stick on that. He's unlucky because he got into it nicely, and he's a bit unfortunate. Just have a look at this one here. You see the backspin there, a little bit unfortunate that.
Yeah, he couldn't have hit it much better. He just needed a little bit more pace in that cue ball, didn't he? We see Ronnie O'Sullivan play that shot particularly well, and he just seems to have that extra little bit of backspin that moves the cue ball away from the reds. And unless he played a very tricky red into the left middle, which I can't see him doing that, I think that's end of visit. Just a safety left. In fact, just looking when he wants to leave the cue ball, to leave it as awkward as possible for John Higgins.
I'm not sure if he can play off the red just to the right of it. If he could nudge off that and just bring the cue ball up there, that would be a pretty good spot. That would leave it very awkward, but can he get to that? I'm not sure if he can. He might be able to do it off the other red, but then he'd have to just go past the blue. It just depends. Well, he was.
Rory Mcleod 20.
He was touching, was he? Must have been.
Well, I assume so. I didn't quite catch the referee say touching ball, but he must have done, because I didn't see anything move there.
Well, he doesn't miss much. Arian Williams, former policeman from South Wales.
Hello, hello, hello.
Talking about Wales, I was there last night in Newtown, Jeff. They switched on the Christmas lights and did a wee charity show at the Elephant and Castle there, and had a great night's crack. And they raised a nice few quid for the Severn Hospice down there, so managed to get here to York about 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, and you got stopped on the motorway, didn't you?
Yeah, no problem. I was doing everything proper.
Just like the colour of your car, did they then?
Foul.
Oh dear. Much
Johnny
too
Higgins.
thick, but I suppose in a way, we'll see. But in a way, you'd rather it go in the pocket than rattle in the jaws and stay at this end of the table. The reason I say we'll see is, as we see, once again, catching that much too thick. Can John Higgins knock in a longish red? If he can, this is a good chance. It all depends on this opening pot.
He just seems to be, well, you wouldn't say struggling, but this is the type of shot that he's so good at. So he's under a little bit of pressure. And he did say, before he came out, Rob Walker had a little chat with him, and he said he was a bit nervous, being the defending champion. Oh, there tells a story. The long pot success rate. Rory double what John's percentage is. No, that's no good. Good pot, but nowhere with the cue ball. A round of applause for the pot, but we'll give him 1 out of 10 for the position.
Yeah, you always fear with that type of shot that the player's going to play with a little tracer sign, and that will speed the cue ball up, particularly off the second cushion. But he just played it plain ball, and that's why he's finished on nothing and just looking to play the safety. Just feel at the moment John Higgins is looking for an easy opportunity.
Yeah, and at the moment Rory's not leaving him that easy opportunity. He's keeping things tight here.
Rory Mcleod 1.
Yeah, I think you're right, Dennis. I think he's certainly come out with a game plan, Rory Mcleod, that not to open up the Reds too much. A few times we've said he's got a safety shot back down the table, and he's played the dump shot, as you call it. And in a way, he's frustrating John Higgins. And it's working at the moment.
Very good there. Excellent safety. Mind, that's one of the reasons this man is one of the greatest players of all time. He can go with bouts of tactical play and safety play, and then when he does get a chance, he can switch gears, and that's the key. But he's not getting many chances here at the moment.
Excellent reply there from Rory Mcleod. A little tap on the tail from John Higgins, but this shouldn't cause too much of a bother. Red on the left-hand side of the table, just hitting it quarter ball, and get that cue ball back. He's got it a little bit too thin. That's why he's caught the yellow. So he may have left a pot on here. I think there's a red just below the pink spot that will go to the right corner. Play it as a shot for nothing always gives you a little bit more confidence in the pot.
Yeah, and the white should go somewhere close to the yellow if he wants to